This is Blues Journey, an exploration of the blues. I'm Kip Lornell of the George Washington University, and this installment is called Got Them Blues, A History.
I went to the crossroads, fell down on my knees.
Blues is the most important form of American music to develop in the 20th century. Gospel music, rock and roll, soul and jazz, and even hip-hop have their roots in blues.
And I got closer to this, my Lord. Baby, I'm sinking down.
Rock cried out, hey! Rock cried out, hey! Rock cried out, hey!
What you're hearing now is a call and response spiritual, much like it would have been sung back in the 1890s when blues first emerged. Spirituals were the expression of slaves and developed in the 1830s and 1840s, but you can still hear spirituals sung in black churches today. A lot of spirituals use call and response. The leader sings something and the congregation responds.
On the carrot wheel, hey! On the carrot wheel, hey! On the carrot wheel, hey! Lord, time going down.
Call and response was also used in field hollers, songs that African Americans used when they were working in the fields to make the work go more quickly. Field hollers, spirituals, and slave songs are all the roots of the blues.
Tell me who gonna ride 'em, hey! Tell me who gonna ride 'em, hey! Tell me who gonna ride 'em, hey! Lord, time going down. Hey, she's gonna ride 'em, hey! She's gonna ride 'em.
Penitentiary blues.
Rappers and hip-hop artists often speak for the black community today, just as blues artists often did in the 1920s and 1930s. Surprisingly, the themes of hip-hop and blues are often not that different. Hard times, the relationships between men and women, and prison are all themes that you find in hip-hop, rap, and the blues. Here's what Lightning Hopkins had to say about his prison experience. Hopkins was a Texas blues singer.
Working on the road, gang, it ain't no easy thing, I tell you. Every evening when you come in, well, it lock you with a chain around your leg. So you had a bunker of your own that lock you to this post, next one to that post, all the way down. You know I'm gonna do time for another man. When it haven't been a thing, poor lightning done.
There's an expression that blues singers often use. They want to ease their worried mind when they sing the blues, and that's what a lot of them did. They sang the blues when they felt down, they sang the blues when they were oppressed by white folks, and they sang the blues when they had to face another hard day of working out in the fields. They also used blues to discuss things among themselves. Mr. Charlie was a word that was used to describe white people, and the white and black relations in the 1930s were not often easy. Going up to Beulah Land meant that you were leaving the oppressive South. Here's blues singer Big Bill Brunzi, who described how blues can be used to deflect hard times.
Blues is kind of a revenge, you know, you want to say something, we all fellas, we had a hard time in life and like that, and things we couldn't say or do, so we sing it.
Oh, come on and go to Beulah Land. Come on and go to Beulah Land. Come on and go to Beulah Land.
Many blacks in the 20th century, especially those who lived in the South, felt that they were no better off than slaves. They were often sharecroppers, they didn't make much money, and they worked from sunup to sundown.
We were sharecroppers, dirt farmers, and we worked the fields.
And true enough, we had to plow with mules. We didn't have such things as tractors and all that kind.
They often worked for low pay, sometimes even no pay. Blacks and whites couldn't drink from the same water fountains. They couldn't stay in the same hotels, and if they were in the same movie theaters, they had to sit in separate sections. There was always the threat of violence because the Ku Klux Klan was never far away.
They had lynchings down there, too.
They had a big cross, the Ku Klux Klan, that burned a Negro right at the stake there. You could smell his burning flesh 5 miles, and it was a terrible thing.
Starting after World War I, a lot of African Americans left the South in search of a better life in the North. This was called the Great Migration, and tens of thousands of blacks left the South for Chicago and New York in search of a better life, and it was the Great Depression that spurred even more of them to leave the farms.
Line of California, sweet home Chicago.
Papa said to his mother, said, "Oh my God, we got to get away from here." All the rumors I heard was it a wonderful place, and when you crossed the Mason and Dixon line, you were a free man, and you could be right there with anyone.
Once a few African Americans moved north, they often brought their relatives. That's how black ghettos started on the south side of Chicago and Harlem, and even though they were in search of a better life, it didn't always work out that way.
Hard time carrying me down.
When Southern blacks moved north, they brought their culture with them. They brought food, religion, and the blues.
Coming north was supposed to have been to the good life.
It's the same. I found out it was the same thing, only just painted with different colors.
When I was born into this world, this is what happened to me. I was never called a man, and now around 53, I wonder when.
Thanks for listening. I'm Kip Lornell of the George Washington University for Arts Edge, a program of the Education Department of the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts.
When Uncle Sam called me